Okay, so here we're solving some equations. We have some absolute values, a little inequality, and then some exponentials. So the first thing we need to do in order to solve an absolute value is think about the two answers that we can have. So this number in here can be positive, and this number in here can also be negative. So when we're solving absolute values, we need to have two solutions. Just like quadratics, absolute values cross the x-axis twice. So 2x equals 14, so x equals 7, or 2x equals negative 6, so x is negative 3. These are the two values that when plugged into here, and when taken absolute value, will give you 10. Okay, so as an interval, we would write x equals brackets 7 and negative 3. So the set of x, where x is 7 and negative 3. Okay, different than when it's in parentheses or brackets, but these mustaches, I don't even know what they're called, but they're squiggly parentheses, squiggly brackets, I don't know. But this is how you represent single solitary answers, positive 7 and negative 3. Okay, this says all numbers that could be less than positive 10, which means they can also be greater than negative 10. So this is what we have to do to solve an absolute value inequality. You take this one and you make it into a sandwich. A less than gets sandwiched. And then we do all of our math from all three sides. The left side, the right side, and the middle side. Okay, dividing everything by 3 gives us this as your answer. I'll come over here. Negative 16 thirds is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 4 thirds. So as long as I pick a number between negative 16 thirds and 4 thirds, okay, both in brackets, notice they're in brackets now, because this is less than or equal to, I will get an answer that is less than positive 10. So all less thans start by being sandwiched. And all greater thans we can sandwich as well, as long as we can interpret the answer. Okay, so 3 is greater than this stuff, but this stuff is also greater than positive 3. Okay, so we're going to once again solve this from the middle. So negative 11 has to be bigger than 5 times x, which will also be bigger than 3. So dividing both sides by 5. And we're going to take this answer first. This says that x has to be less than negative 11 fifths. Okay, notice the 11 fifths is over here. The alligator is eating the 11 fifths, which means that this is the largest thing and x has to be smaller than it. And then we have this part over here, which says x has to be larger than 3 fifths. So as long as you can interpret your answer, you can make a sandwich out of this in order to solve it. So as an interval, that's from negative infinity to negative 11 fifths with a parenthesis. That's connected to everything from 3 fifths to positive infinity. Okay, so if it's less than, you end up with a sandwiched answer where you have an interval that's in between an and situation. And if you have greater than, you want to have an or. Everything large negative, when you take an absolute value, will be larger than 3. And everything super small, or rather really big, will also be bigger than 3. So there's two different ways to solve less thans and then greater thans. I'll change that one.